I don't need that.
There we go. I don't know. But what's funny
Right.
is I said I wanted to sit over here because I'm left-handed, but I feel like I saw you.
Left-handed too.
So
We're
it's
covered.
not a problem.
We're cool. No, or, yeah, my daughter is, yeah. But my son, our son and my wife is left-handed too.
Ah,
But our son is right-handed, so
ah.
just
We have one of those
the
too.
luck of the draw. I know. We ridiculed him the whole time when he was growing up.
Totally. We have a mixed family, and my mom's kids are left-handed, ambidextrous, and right-handed.
Are you pretty ambidextrous?
No,
Oh,
my
aren't you?
dad's kids are left. Let's see, turn that I've taken tests to find out how
Goldman in the
handed you
house.
are.
Yeah.
I'm very, very.
No, we haven't seen him in a while.
See, I'm really ambidextrous.
Hi, Michael.
Michael?
I got bat right-handed. I play
Gang's all
golf
here.
right-handed.
I have to bat right-handed, but it was because nobody could teach me how to do it left-handed. So, but I catch, I would catch with my left
Yeah, I
hand.
catch, yeah,
Left
exactly,
hand, so.
exactly.
Not teaching anything.
But I do a whole lot of things
For
right-handed
anybody.
too, so, which is cool.
My
We
mom
got
is
so much going on.
completely fascinated by being right-handed. and all these left
Oh, yeah?
possibility.
I always,
I said some of these meetings get a little hairy.
that's why I
Oh.
always
I have to have all my
really
cues.
enjoy
All the
playing
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Prompts myself.
Uh-huh,
Oh.
Because
Executive sessions are,
you use
for sure.
both hands, you know, it wasn't just
Getting in and out.
racquetball,
Uh-huh.
it's just
Yeah, there's a lot of
so it was
wording.
kinda-
Good.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Until my knees gave on, then it was no fun. Oh, well.
Yeah. No, that's great.
all right, everybody. You,
No-handedness.
it is 6:30. Is everybody ready to get started on our work session?
Rock and roll.
You need to text me and find out if I'm here.
All right. You want to,
So we have given you another document, in addition to the document that we gave you about a month ago, regarding, we were now calling it the Bayfield Economic Advocacy and Commerce Hub, also known as BEACH, and you can do a lot of things with acronyms. It doesn't necessarily have to be that, but we're doing this for economic development. We've provided a description of the office, the term. So in other words, this is March 22nd. You've already approved funding for the economic recovery coordinator up to the 19th of March. So this is March 22nd to December 31st. We have a budget there. This would come from the general fund. In the first 2 months of 2021, you're $35,006 over and above your sales tax collected in the general fund. We would be looking for grants and reimbursements, so we just estimated at about $8,000. And then additional reserves would be about $15,000. So a total about $58,000 for, this is just to attempt to put an economic development office in the town of Bayfield. You have the opportunity every year to make changes to operations, and that includes this operation. The general fund in 2020 over 2019, the additional was $242,191. Granted, that's not going to be continue that increase. That comes from the Wayfair case that we can now collect sales tax on internet sales that come into the town. So that's how that is up, but even in February, we have, or even in 2021, we have an increase. The Bayfield economic, the funding information from other Colorado communities, we provided a little bit of that. We also provided a little bit of that information in one of our previous packets as well. We would be looking at possibly, if 2022 we would be looking for funding for an economic coordinator of some sort for 2022. And it's very important to say that if our sales tax starts to fall flat or starts to decrease, then we're going to have to revamp this program. I don't think, granted, the whole reason that you have economic development office is to make sure that you increase it, but maybe it's something we would have to look at seriously if our sales tax started to decrease.
Sorry, Kitty, can you let Ron in? He's,
Yes. Thanks for watching that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I can't see him on both screens. I think he's. The events that we'd be looking for is capacity building events for businesses and employees through SBDC, Region 9, Fort Lewis College, and the Pueblo Community College. Traditional special events, the Spring Festival, 4th of July, Christmas celebration. And I think that you also need to look at some other events that maybe you haven't even thought about before. If you have somebody that's their main purpose is economic development. Just the special events for fun and entertainment may be one thing, but maybe there's a whole new set of practices that the town of Bayfield could be involved in. Helping organize and implement block parties with COVID restrictions as they are lifted, but then even as we still need to comply with them as well. Deliverables. Basically coordinate a project to identify all available land and building assets within the town. Develop a customer relationship management tool. And Beth has suggested that maybe that's also used with the town as well. Of course, we just got a work order system started, so I think there's a lot of things that we're going to be working on to make sure that we're all coordinating all of these new programs and systems. Conduct trainings and collaborations with Pueblo Community College and Fort Lewis College, and assist Bayfield residents in securing primary jobs through remote employees and flex jobs. I think the bi-weekly newsletter has been really important as well, that we're getting out, not only the newsletter that it's going to businesses, but also just the community newsletter that's going out as well. And, basically help with leads. I think that, if somebody's looking for property or a business or to develop here, or even just if there's still a business in Bayfield and looking to grow or move, I also think that's also a good opportunity as well. And of course, site visits. I think the site visits, when I talk about boots on the ground, that's what I wanted to make sure that we hired, is somebody that got out and got into the community. And that's not going to stop. Because we have an office. Some of the town activities and programs that could be explored is a historical preservation, the story walk, and typically historical preservation, I'm just going to back up a little bit. You have the authority to have historical preservation. You can have historical preservation without the town being involved, but sometimes that designation helps identify, the culture, the time it was built, the type of architecture, and things like that. And and you may decide not to restrict it from ever being remodeled or changed, but just that designation itself is very helpful. Working on, and we talking, about workforce housing. The town liaison regarding the Pine River Shares, the farm. Now that may not be something that we really work on this year, but it would be something in the future that we would certainly focus on. A downtown farmers market, a creative district, or a Main Street designation. And of course, there's other things that the town can be involved with as well. So there's some tangible benefits that I've provided in the list for you. And we also kind of provided a consultant overview of, and description of what that consultant would do. I'm looking for your input. Beth is here tonight to answer additional questions. If you'd like to go through any of the previous information that I provided to you, I'd be happy to go through that.
So as far as farmers market goes, just because that's something that we've been, involved in, would you see this position getting their food handler's license and being in charge of the USDA and selling meat, and then all of the things that go along with that?
The basic premise would be setting up a location, setting up some way to sign up for booths if that's what you would want, like a location for the people to actually come, and just assuring that they've got all their licenses. I don't think it would be our job to check into their license. We have to make sure that they have the licenses they're supposed to have.
It was just something that was really important the last time around, and I want to make sure that that's something that somebody would commit to.
Yep.
Understand, cottage food, that's what it is.
Yes, it's a cottage food
Yes.
industry.
There.
Yes.
I have a couple questions. Can I go ahead? Yeah, first of all, I like the sentence that says, in the event sales tax start to trend flat, you're going to revisit this. I like that. That's a good thing to have in there. Question about where it says Region 9 provides $80,000 to fund economic economic recovery. God, I will read at some point this evening. Economic Recovery Coordinator in Archuleta County. Is funding available for the town through Region 9 for this?
So the Region 9 has sent us a whole bunch of information probably since this packet came out. And we definitely would be in contact with Region 9 just to, whether it's 2021 funding and grant funding or
Yeah.
2022 for longer term to get it set up. A year it would be a test. The second year you have to have some real results.
Yeah, yeah. 30-second explanation, customer relationship management. What does that mean?
I'm going to let Beth respond to that. And Beth, you will have to go to the microphone.
Page 43 in the regular packet. Josh, are you familiar with Salesforce?
Say again.
Have you ever heard of Salesforce?
Salesforce?
Never mind.
I have.
No.
So this is a centralized database through a free platform called HubSpot, so that the office and the town and everyone has a single communication point out to your constituents. And you can go by cohort, like I can have the banks, I can have the medical. We could eventually get neighborhoods online, so if we have to send something out. So it's a one-stop shopping, so you're not storing data in Excel, email addresses, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And then like the newsletter that's being generated right now could eventually come out of that instead of MailChimp. So it is what the majority of businesses have some type of a CRM in place.
Okay, good.
And the town of Bayfield can definitely move in that direction, and out of the office of Beach would be a natural starting point.
Thank you.
Sure.
And the next item on this, it might take a little explanation, but it's something you and I have briefly discussed in the past. And I would like to see it included in whoever it is we hire for this position it does, and that is the idea of what I would consider a community kitchen. And what I see is over at the senior center, we have a kitchen over there that is way underutilized. And I realize there are some issues about this, so just bear with me on this. But what I envision is a place for if someone has an idea for a business to make jelly or to make crackers or whatever. This would give them an opportunity to use that facility to produce their product, market their product, and to see if it is a viable enough enterprise to actually start a business. And say, I don't know what the term would be, 6 months or a year or whatever, and to let an individual use that for, 2 days a week or 3 days a week, but not just limited to that one person. If there were 2 or 3 people that wanted to do that, then of course it would be a matter of management. But I see that as a really good homegrown economic development tool for us to be able to use, and not to spring this on anybody, because I know we haven't talked about this. This was something I wanted to talk about this year sometime, but I figured that this would be a good time to at least introduce the notion to be able to have the economic developer work on it, see if it works. And like I say, I realize that there are some hurdles to get over in terms of the county and our relationship with them and how the kitchen still don't, it's been explained to me and I don't understand
You know,
it.
that concept of a kitchen shared space is actually a concept that comes up a lot.
A lot.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's actually a
It's-
really,
It's even come up with the
Good
new
idea.
farm to
Let
table
me
Pine
ask
River
another
shares.
question. Is
It's
there
an incubation kitchen.
Right, that's
Yeah,
correct.
an incubator, yeah.
Let me ask another question on that idea. Is there is there a need for a commercial kitchen for production of items like you describe that could be put out there for lease, but is yet not constructed? And this would be maybe you can answer that better than anyone else.
so I will tell you, the facility that I use to do my Bloody Mary mix is a certified FDA, they have all the certifications. But people do rent that kitchen out to make burritos, to make sandwiches for clients and customers that they
Yeah.
have. But for anyone to market or sell a product that's labeled, there's a lot more that goes into that. And to get a
Right.
facility ready for that, I think is a step worth looking into, but I think it's down the road. But I like this concept of a community kitchen that you can maybe even rent out or,
Right,
you know.
right, well, no,
like the-
yeah, exactly. I think there should be some buy-in, from whoever it is that's using it. But I toss it out there just to have people think about it, and if we want to include that as one of the
Amenities of,
deliverables,
Yeah.
or however you want to say it, is something that the coordinator could look at.
So I just want to make sure that you know that the La Plata County cannot prepare their food there because it is not a certified kitchen. So you have to be aware that, and I have done this before in another position, is that we actually certified our kitchen for a number of things. The fruit leather and canning apples and applesauce and things like that. So I've done that before, but you're going to have to bring your kitchen up to a kitchen that you can actually certify.
Okay,
And I found that out actually when I got here, is that they cannot prepare the food there. So those are things that you'd have to be aware of. But I agree with you. That is
Is that,
certainly
is that a question of them not having the proper tools in there, or implements, countertops,
you have a hood
whatever?
that will require to be replaced.
So it takes a fire hood
Yes, you
if
would.
if they're using it for.
Yes, you would have to have that type of commercial kitchen. So you have components, but you don't have all the necessary components.
Yeah. It's just being used as like a serving
That's
area,
correct.
pretty much.
I like that idea, though. I think it's
Yeah.
worth,
okay.
because
It is.
that
It
could
would
be a
great.
good draw to, I mean, there's businesses I know that drive all the way to Durango to prep and
Right.
prepare food.
We might look into what that cost would be to improve that kitchen to the extent that it would allow that.
And that would be a really good
Yeah,
thing for the economic
There you go.
development
Absolutely.
coordinator to do.
Absolutely.
So we can certainly look into that. I just want to make sure you understand that those expenses are not cheap.
Yeah.
No,
I'm-
not at all.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to, having discussions about it, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't
Yeah.
work, but I think it's worth at least exploring.
Sure.
Thank you.
Let me ask another question on that line, though. Is a kitchen that's used for food prep in a typical restaurant situation different from a kitchen that's used for canning and whatnot like that? Or can they be used symbiotically?
It has to fit the commercial kitchen standard, and currently, the kitchen that you have is not that standard. So in other words, if it fit the standard, you could can cherries there and sell them that they were packaged and processed in a certified kitchen, and somebody could prepare food there. So in other words, they could still serve senior meals there. They could still do all kinds of other things there in that kitchen. You want to get to the gold standard, and then everything else can be done underneath it.
Does a typical kitchen that's used in a restaurant meet that certification standard?
Yes.
So,
Yes or
my
no?
kitchen at the Billy Goat is certified to serve food. But I cannot do my canning
You
there.
cannot do your can.
For
That was
distribution.
the thrust of my question,
No.
is that are they
That's a-
interchangeable?
A
The-
co-packing
Because
facility.
one has one different task or objective and the other one has
The kitchen
another.
that I did manage had both.
Okay,
Yeah, and you can have both. It's just,
it's just you need
It's-
to design that in up front. Okay.
Yes.
And one final thing, and I guess this is kind of, maybe it's not self-evident, but it seems to me that it is, that, Katie, you think that this is a role that we can play in the community, the town can play in the community, is to have an economic coordinator developer?
Yes.
Thank you.
I do too, for the record. I see a lot of benefits.
Yeah, I see this being a huge benefit, especially if the chamber isn't going to, be around and doing block parties and things like that, that this is one of the ways that we keep all of those things going too.
And for what it's worth, I have had staff approach me to talk about the importance that they see in this as well.
Good.
Anybody else have any questions or?
I like the name. Beach. Isn't that the truth?
So, I think the goal, and I feel like the board is all kind of on the same page here.
Yeah.
I guess we would give you direction to execute a contract. That would go,
Isn't that on the agenda?
Yeah.
So first of all, you would have to determine that you're willing to budget $58,000 in addition to what you have budgeted for 2021. And then the contract would be revised for your meeting on the 16th.
Okay.
Good.
I think the return on investment will be there.
I'm sorry, say again?
The return on the investment will be there.
yeah, and like I
I
said,
think
we
so.
can revisit this and we can, modify it any way we need to at the end of the year.
I mean, just having somebody in this building talking to businesses in this town is something that's never happened before.
Yeah.
Makes people happy.
Well, we like to keep people happy.
I think it'll help too, and when you're bringing businesses here, if they have a contact person like that, that can talk to them about the area and help them through the processes too.
Yeah, I agree with you. Typically, the most important thing is a relocation packet,
Mhm.
and it doesn't have to be paper anymore. It can be electronic. That you find out what the schools are, that's the most common question we get. What internet should I use?
Yeah.
And so, just giving them a list and letting them, they still have to make their own selections, but typically that relocation information is very helpful.
Okay. Let me get my computer on the right screen here.
Yeah, it's amazing how many screens you gotta move around. Which page am I on?
All right, so if we are ready to move on, I will go ahead and call this meeting to order, dated Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021. It is 6:53 PM. Roll call, please.
Trustee Black.
Here,
Trustee Dallison. Here. Trustee Joswick.
Here.
Trustee Moreland.
Here.
Trustee Politis.
Here.
Trustee Cesaro.
Here.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Here.
All present.
All right, if everybody would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, do we have any conflicts of interest to announce? I will be recusing myself from agenda item 5F this evening. Anyone else? All right, moving on to general public input. If anybody in the community has anything to discuss with the board not pertaining to any agenda items, you can state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes. All right, seeing none out there, I see. All right, did everybody get a chance to look at the agenda?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second that.
All right, roll call, please.
Trustee Black.
yes,
Trustee Dallison.
Yes?
Trustee Joswick.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Yes.
All in favor.
All right, did everybody get a chance to look at the minutes from February 16th?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the February 16th, 2021 minutes as presented by the town clerk.
I would second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Trustee Black.
Yes,
Trustee Dallison.
Yes.
Trustee Joswick.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Yes.
All in favor.
All right, moving on to our Public Works Director report. Jeremy, do you have anything to add to your report? Might catch him off guard.
Jeremy, you're on
zoned
duty.
out. You did, because it's not 7 o'clock yet.
All right. well,
Jeremy, are you there?
Unmute.
Yeah, he's trying to talk. I'm like, his unmute button's there.
It's unmuted.
Maybe we just can't hear him.
Remember this happened last time.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you have any questions for Jeremy, you can email me.
This is,
All right. Joe, do you have anything to add to your marshal's report?
There he is.
Oh, all right. We got Jeremy back. So Jeremy, do you have anything to add to your report?
No, I don't. Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Now
now
we
we
can.
can.
Finally now, yes.
so you also are going to be a wetlands manager?
Oh.
Yes, I'm going to be a wetlands manager. We will find out exactly what that entails on March the 16th.
Okay.
Interesting.
Does the board have any questions for Jeremy?
Yeah, what wetlands?
You'll find that on the 16th, probably.
Under the bridge.
Wetlands in between West North Street and Roadside Park.
Oh,
Recently, we were just informed that there is some additional potential weed mitigation that we may need to address. And we have a meeting March 16th to talk to some environmental specialists in regards to what that may entail.
Okay.
That's all I got for you right now.
You,
Okay.
these are just normal weeds or the run-of-the-mill thistles and the like, or are we talking about Russian olives too?
Well, this is all in regards to the bridge replacement that happened in 2016, and so we still have some CDOT permitting that we're trying to close.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have a whole lot of information in regards to it. Like I said, I was just informed of this activity last week, so we're gonna need to do a little bit more research and see exactly what activities this is gonna entail.
Okay. Joe, did you remember what you? Okay. Moving on to town manager report. Katie?
I don't really have anything to add. Last week was quite long.
sounds like it.
All right, moving on to the Eight Corners construction contract.
I am asking for you to authorize me to execute or to award the contract and execute a contract with a contractor. We're in a very tight window now to get this project finished. And I think that we could at least get supplies on. They're gonna close Eight Corners. We've gotta get signs up. There's a lot of things we need to do. So if I can award, we'll bring the contract to you to ratify, the first meeting in April. But I certainly would ask for the condition that it's within, the engineer's estimate or no more than 103% over their estimate. If it's more than that, I think that we may have to determine, if we continue on with this project.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty time sensitive, so.
What's that 3%? Just,
It's about $3,000. I mean,
Okay.
you could make it 110% if you wanted, but,
Nuts this.
we don't wanna lose the road again. We've lost some roads.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've not seen.
Are you?
Oh, just that thing, is it?
Does the board have any questions?
I just want to make sure I'm looking at the right thing. This one was Short Elliott Hendrickson? S-E-H?
No.
I'm looking at the
This
wrong
is the
thing,
bid
okay.
for the Eight Corners.
me a
Eight
page.
Corners
Yeah, I was
is
just
the,
trying to find it in my packet.
Yeah, I'm
here.
trying to find it too.
Yeah, me
Give
too.
me a
I'm
page number.
scrolling up and down.
it's not in the pack.
Was
it's
it in the extras?
It's in the extra packet.
Ah.
And I have it also in the paper that I handed out to you as well.
Well, that makes it even
Oh.
easier.
That makes it much easier.
Okay, maybe I'll look at that.
So, Katie is asking that we entertain a motion to authorize her to award the contract with the following conditions in your packet.
Oh, okay.
Because it's time sensitive, we don't want to delay having to bring this back to another meeting. So I would entertain option 1 in your recommendations.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the town manager regarding the Eight Corners project to award the contract and execute the contract with board ratification April 6, 2021, at their regular meeting with the following conditions. Number 1, the engineer recommends the contractor. Number 2, the contractor bid is lower or no higher than within 103% of the engineer's estimate of $93,120.38, and the contractor is an eligible bidder with documented experience to guarantee substantial completion prior to May 1, 2021.
Could I ask you just to correct, the estimate was $97,120.38.
So on the
96
back of your agenda
Yeah.
too,
Hmm?
Kel, if you open your agenda pack, the new
I just want to make sure
recommendations
the amount is
are on there.
in the,
90, to amend that to the engineer's estimate of $97,120.38.
I'll second that.
All right, any further discussion from the board? Roll call, please.
Trustee Black.
Yes.
Trustee Dallison.
Yes.
Trustee Joswick.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes,
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Yes.
All in favor.
Okay, moving on to Economic Recovery Coordinator. So we've talked about this. I think we are ready to give Katie direction to bring to the next meeting.
Yep.
Any other discussion on that? Anything to add?
Nope.
Okay. Are you good with direction, Katie?
yes.
All right, moving on to financial agenda items. Sales tax. That is on page 18 of your packet, regular packet. And we are still trending upward nicely. Anybody have any discussion on that?
not discussion, but the whole state of Colorado is up 5.7% in sales tax.
Nice.
Well, that's really awesome, since state of Colorado is not so good at making certain taxation is a fair thing.
All right, moving on to the proclamation for the Upper Pine River Fire Protection Day. I'm going to go ahead and read the proclamation. Whereas the Upper Pine River Fire Protection District has provided free COVID-19 testing, and whereas the district has provided a vaccination clinic for all 70 and older individuals living in the 81122 zip code, and whereas the district has provided a vaccination clinic for Bayfield School District employees, and whereas the district is preparing additional vaccination clinics, whereas the district will be celebrated on March 16th, 2021 at 6 p.m. at Bayfield Town Hall. Now therefore I, Ashley Tarkington, Mayor of the Town of Bayfield, Colorado, do hereby proclaim the day of Tuesday, March 16th, 2021 as Upper Pine River Fire Protection District Day. Proclaim this second day of March, 2021. This is, I just feel that we need to do something for Upper Pine. They have done an outstanding job
Yeah,
through all of this. So
agree.
we will be inviting you to a little shindig, probably outside,
That's correct.
6 o'clock before our next meeting. And we will invite Upper Pine. We'll figure out all the details.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right, moving on to our action agenda, old business. Do we have any general public input pertaining to agenda items A through F? Seeing none, we will move on to 5A, the SEH contract amendment.
So I provided the full SEH contract. It looks like it's been extended a couple times. And then this is just the amendment, just to extend it again through 2021. And I am recommending that you approve this amendment.
Does the board have any questions?
That's not a typo. The short shouldn't have quotation marks on it, should it? I'm just,
The what?
his name? Should, I'm just kidding.
Just kidding.
All right, I would entertain a motion to approve the SEH
I
amendment.
think you're up.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the SEH amendment terminating December 31st, 2021.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Black.
Yes.
Trustee Dallison.
Yes.
Trustee Joswick.
Yes,
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes,
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Yes.
All in favor.
All right, moving on to Alpine Planning LLC.
So the town attorney has made the edits to the Alpine Planning LLC agreement, professional services agreement. You have a paper document in front of you, and so with those edits, just asking you to approve it with those edits in your motion. And the town attorney is here if you certainly have any questions.
Does the board have any questions? We're asking for a recommendation to approve option number 2 in your packet.
Madam Mayor, I'd make a motion to approve the Alpine Planning LLC professional services agreement as modified per our town attorney.
I would
Second.
second that.
All right, any further discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Black.
Yes.
Trustee Dallison.
Yes.
Trustee Joswick.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Yes.
All in favor.
All right, moving on to 5C, data safe.
So you reviewed Data Safe's proposal last meeting. Patrick Allman is actually here as your IT person here today. I am recommending that you approve it. I am recommending with the condition that I have an opportunity to negotiate termination. I think that we're very happy to have Patrick on staff with Data Safe, but in the event over 3 years, if they decide not to employ somebody that's providing service to the town, I think that we have the right to terminate this agreement.
I agree.
All right, any questions from the board?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve DataSafe IT services per the proposal for 36 months with the termination clause negotiated by the town manager within the proposal.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Black.
Yes.
Trustee Dallison.
Yes.
Trustee Joswick.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Yes.
All in favor.
All right, moving on to ordinance 455, amending construction specifications.
So I have updated the construction specifications in my other positions, and I got done with this one and I said, Jeremy, what do you do with these when you get them?
Oh, no.
And he said that it's his Bible in construction. So I was very happy that I spent days on this document,
Yeah.
because that's the way it should be. And very happy to say that I know a lot more about your specifications than I ever want to know. So I'm glad Jeremy has that. I'm recommending that you approve these. And they become effective 30 days after publish.
All right, any questions or comments from the board? I would entertain a motion to approve the ordinance.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Black.
Yes.
Trustee Dallison.
Yes.
Trustee Joswick.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Yes.
All in favor.
So I jumped the gun. We gave direction to Katie in the town manager section, but if Beth, if you have anything to add to your economic development report.
So I think I would like a motion,
Oh, you wanna-
basically, that just approves this plan that we've provided for you, with the provision of adding an incubator kitchen and some other, potential events or practices in this. And of course, we have a lot of work to do in the next couple months to make sure that we make sure that this is a successful office. The $58,000 would require your a motion anyway.
Okay, so we would entertain a motion to approve a contract
The plan, just the plan.
plan with the provisions that Katie announced.
So move.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Black.
Yes.
Trustee Dallison.
Yes.
Trustee Joswick.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Yes.
All in favor.
All right.
And you're out.
I need to leave the room, so I'll be recusing myself.
We're not going to approve it.
That's the way it goes.
All right, our next item for consideration is the pre-annexation request for the Billy Goat Saloon.
So this is your 9th pre-annexation agreement that's come before you. I know that they're getting pretty scattered, but now that La Plata is starting to build, I think we're getting a little more energy to possibly get water from La Plata. I am recommending your approval for this pre-annexation agreement for the Billy Goat LLC, and there are 2 partners involved in the application.
I would make a motion that we approve the pre-annexation request for parcel number 5677161020224 for the Billy Goat LLC.
And I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Can I get a roll call?
Trustee Black.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dallison.
Yes.
Trustee Joswick.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
All in favor.
Thank you all. We'll get Ashley back.
You're on well water forever.
Sorry.
We're all laughing, but it's true.
All right, moving on to new business. Do we have any general public input to discuss 6A on the agenda? Seeing none, let's move on to our La Plata County Clerk and Recorder Town Hall lease.
So the town attorney has reviewed this lease, and the clerk and recorder and the county's attorney has also reviewed the lease. There were some questions about requiring employee contact information. However, we're gonna need it if we're securing these doors. And it's not their personal information, it's their professional information. So they determined it was okay. So anyway, the attorney sent it back to me with almost the exact edits that we had before, so.
All right, does the board have any questions?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Bayfield Town Hall lease agreement with La Plata County.
I'll second that.
All right, any further questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Black.
Yes.
Trustee Dallison.
Yes.
Trustee Joswick.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Yes.
All in favor.
All right, moving on to our executive session portion of the meeting. I would entertain a motion to go into executive session, including our town attorney and town manager.
So move.
Second.
All right, roll call, please.
Who made that second?
Kelly.
Trustee Black.
Yes.
Trustee Dallison.
Yes.
Trustee Joswick.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Yes.
All in favor.
So for those that are on Zoom, you will be leaving the meeting, and when we go back to open session, you will have to be back in the boardroom to start this meeting again, so.